Hey there, it's Pete over at the Sampleist, and today we are checking out Panorama Guitars from Sonora Cinematic. Panorama Guitars is a homage to the ambient and dreamy world of shoegaze and post-rock music. Featuring beautifully sampled guitars and a range of different amps and effects, Sonora Cinematic have expertly crafted a stunningly beautiful and exciting guitar library. If you're looking for gorgeous guitar ambiences and crystal clear playable guitars, this is a library you should certainly check out. Panorama Guitars downloads at 4.72 gigabytes and runs in the free Contact player. It is also NKS compatible. It's currently on intro sale for £49 and that will go up to £59 once the sale has ended. In this video, we are going to check out the sounds contained within Panorama Guitars, and then of course we'll have a quick look at the interface and the GUI, and then I've thrown it into a 30-minute composing challenge. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Sonora Cinematic for sending over a copy of Panorama Guitars so we can make this video. Of course, we do receive the instruments for free, but it does not in any way influence our thoughts, ideas, or judgments on the library. And you, the wonderful viewer who are checking out our video at the moment, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, because that's the best way you can support the channel, because we don't have any financial interest or make any financial gain when making these videos. With all that done and dusted and the boxes ticked and the lowercase i's dotted, I guess, I don't know. Let's check out Sonora Cinematic's Panorama Guitars. And here we have Panorama Guitars from Sonora Cinematic, loaded up in the free Native Instruments Complete Control player. It is of course a free Contact player instrument and it is NKS compatible. And normally I rave about NKS compatible instruments because the user interface is great, the experience is fantastic, the functionality is just wonderful. And Panorama Guitars has all that. However, it also has the gorgeous teal and orange and white GUI on my S61 Mark III controller. I love this GUI. The white text and controls really pop against the teal. You've got these lovely flourishes of orange for the XY pad and the different fade controls. We can see instantly it's a dual layer instrument. We've got layer A, layer B. We can fade between them. We've got some motion controls. There is a filter and effects page. It's just really, really clear and it looks brilliant. So I love it. And whoever designed it, amazing job. Now, before we talk about how the instrument works, let's just listen to the guitars. So the baritone lovely delay preset is one of the 50 plus presets that is just really, really highlighting what shoegaze is all about. Shoegaze is essentially you're a guitarist and you are looking down at your pedal board, you're constantly tweaking to create these amazing, gorgeous, ethereal sounds, and you spend more time staring at your shoes than you do your guitar or even your bandmates. So yes, there we go. Let's listen to the baritone lovely delay. It sounds gorgeous. We have the full range of the baritone. We got down to the low B, and of course we got up to the high E, fret 24. Always popular. That's where the cool stuff happens on a guitar. And listen to that ambience. So we've got delays, we've got ambience, we got different reverbs, etc. But it sounds very affected. But shoegaze is and post-rock has lots of effects going on. So let's just see what this XY pad does to the sound. If I just move up and go across, you can see we have our two different layers going on. So we go across to layer B, and we can move back to layer A. So we can get a nice blend. Beautiful. So there's our two layers. Now let's look at these snapshots very quickly. We've got atmospheres, we have Impro soundscapes, we've got J bass, we've got motions, simple, slow attack, and XY pad assignment. So let's just play a couple from each. So atmospheres, and we go air bloom. Sounds amazing. Now, I am a guitarist. I've played guitar for the last 33 years. And I love nothing more than tweaking and playing around with effects. But these sound fantastic straight in your DAW. Love those delays. So as we're going through these, you're hearing lots more effects. And then of course, we need to move the XY pad to really hear what these sound like. So they sound wonderful. And of course you can record, so I'm going to show recording and wiggling this around. So you can fully automate the XY pad. I do normally use a Rolly controller from XY pad. I just haven't got it set up at the moment. But yeah, these sound amazing. Let's just go for Country Gentleman. Beautiful. I'll do one more. Let's do Warmth. Amazing. So fantastic atmospheres. Then we got Impro soundscapes. Let's just do hold and reverse. Okay, so having some fun. Now, you heard a kind of warble. It's the best way to describe it. I use the sustain pedal. Which was... I can't really trigger it now. So, yeah, you can get some really, really cool effects. Now, obviously, that's just the effect automating, the delay changing. So some very cool things going on with the sustain pedal. So there we go. It's difficult to sort of show without you seeing when I'm engaging it, but I've got it on. And then moving it around. So yeah, there we go. So hold and reverse sounds amazing. My name is Vibe. Excuse me. And of course, if you make a mistake when you're playing, I always play really, really simple things so you can hear the instrument, let the instrument speak for itself. But if I play a mistake, it's just going to go on for ages. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to play everything beautifully in time. But that sounds gorgeous. My name is Vibe. So let's go to J bass, J stop. I love the kind of bass warble going on there. Brilliant. So I did adjust the volume of the track, so I don't want anything to clip, and I don't want to have to use a limiter on the instruments. So, but yeah, that sounds amazing. Barry bass. So just move around the XY pad. Yeah, sounds brilliant. Lovely stuff. So we've got some basses, and the very creative basses. Then we've got some motions, double moon. Lovely. Now, we've got the motion going on. Now we're getting real serious shoegaze effects. Sounds cool. Let's do the walrus. For some reason, I wanted to do a walrus impression. That's not a walrus. I don't even know what a walrus sounds like. Beautiful. Then we've got our simple. Now, I'm going to load up the gentle baritone. There's a reason I'm focusing on this patch. Sounds lovely. Now, there is a rumbling of tape. So if I was bring up the channel volume, I'm not going to play the instrument, but you should be able to hear we have this tape going on. And that sounds great. I love that sound. However, if you are using this instrument with a publisher or for a publisher, and sometimes excess noise and tape saturation, etc., isn't always required. And this patch is really, really useful to showcase. If you click on the effects tab, you can actually turn it off. So it's actually this age control here. If I turn it down, we have no more tape. That's simple. So you can eliminate any extra unwanted sounds you may not want. However, I love the sound of it, so I would just keep it in. But sounds gorgeous. Okay, so simple. Let's just play one more American. No. I think I do use that in the composition. So I've already done the composition. So I make the compositions first, so I learn how to use the instrument, and it's all wonderful. Dirt Blanket. Superb. Slow attack. Distant. I mean, you get an idea of what it's going to sound like before I even play it. Beautiful. Blurry Memory. Lovely. That reminds me, I don't know what's popped into my head. I bought an Ebo about 4 years ago, and it's in my studio somewhere. I've never used it. So, I don't know why these thoughts are popping into my head today. Then XY Pad Assignments, Extra Life. So it's doing some kind of reverse, which is cool. I just turned the motion on. I'm not entirely sure. There we go. So because I'm not using the sustain pedal, I should be holding the notes down longer. So you got that funny like cut off because I've let go of the notes. Okay, so we've got the motion working there. Echoes of lo-fi. Let's turn the motion on. Lovely. And then a curious one, which I've actually saved for the video. I've not loaded this up. Dartford, England, in 1957. I need to find out what the significance of that is. can hear the effects being added as we go up the XY pad. Sounds lovely. Okay, so that is an example of what the instrument sounds like. Now looking at the right, we've got our expression, which is obviously our volume. So I'm going to keep that all the way up. Different other things. Now this is where I need to very, very quickly Dalmente. Del niente. Okay. We've got the XY assignments. So CC1 is X and then CC15. But you can learn on any of them. So let's say I want 21 to be my Y and 18. There we go. Let me just turn the magnifier off. Now I've turned my little fader into an XY. So it's a good way. We've got all of these different controls going on. Obviously you can change the different layers, which is absolutely fine. So layer A and B. Just going to load up some random. You can adjust the attack and release. Nice slow fade. Layer offset, round robins. We've got the filter page. So I'm not going to spend ages doing sound design and going through everything. But you've got a step filter as well. Really, really cool stuff. Plenty to work on there. Then you've got the effects as well. So 3 different slots for different effects. You can just adjust the different effects there. So you've got lots of different amps, stomp boxes. And of course, remember, this is all created using hardware as well. So not only the guitars, but the amps, the stomp boxes, the effects, it's all created. Obviously, we've got some native instruments classics in there as well, but a lot of it is using, it's all sampled using the hardware instruments. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so 3 different effects. And that's it. Panorama Guitars. Sounds absolutely incredible. Wonderful. Now, what we're going to do is throw it into a composition. And I've timed myself 30 minutes for this one. So I'm going to keep it quite simple, but I want to just try out a couple of things. I want to use drums with it and bass. So they're going to be non-Sonora Cinematic instruments. And obviously, I'm going to layer up lots of Panorama guitars. So without further ado, let's jump into the composition. And there we go, that is my 30-minute composing challenge using Panorama Guitars. And I have to admit, I sat there in my studio with my face set to permanent grin. I loved working with this library. It's just really, really fun. I am a guitarist and I've spent such a long time just looking at my effects board, tweaking, playing around with huge reverbs, delays, choruses to get these massive ambient soundscapes. And Panorama Guitars just delivers this in spades, and it's amazing having it in your DAW. However, there are also plenty of playable guitars in there as well. So you got the best of both worlds, huge soundscapes, ethereal guitars, and then some of the most gorgeous sample guitars I've heard in a contact instrument. You can see on the left-hand side, there are 5 instances of Panorama Guitars. And then I had a few ideas that I wanted to sort of put in. So one of them is I wanted to see how did it work with some drums, just to give some context. So we have some easy drums. And then we have a bass. So I've gone for like quite a heavy, progressive, cinematic scoring bass. And then as the piece was progressing, because it's very, very simple in terms of harmony, but I used lots of different chord extensions and had different notes and harmonies going on with different ambiences and lots of movement. So I want to see how that would work. And it worked really, really well with Panorama Guitars. So I added an electric piano. Now, I'm a huge progressive rock fan. For me, the electric piano just really symbolizes that sound when we're talking like heavy but easygoing and ambient rock music. If you listen to Porcupine Tree or Stephen Wilson, you'll know exactly what I mean. So I was trying to capture that vibe. And like I say, Panorama Guitars just captures that shoegaze, that post-rock sound immaculately. So it all started off with a gentle baritone. Now that sounds amazing, absolutely amazing. So that is one of the presets. Now, when you load that preset, I'm going to jump into the instrument really, really quickly. If I go into the effects, there is a tape sound. So I've actually turned that off. And this is something that's really, really important to me. Now, I make ambient music, crime music, lots of tension, etc. And I rely a lot on pads and multi-layer pads. And if you have this layer of tape that you just cannot get rid of, it can affect, you know, the publisher. They may say, we don't like that noise, we just want everything to be as clean as possible. So if I turn up the age, you'll hear a tape sound. I'll just play it. There we go. So you can hear that tape sound. Now I've engaged the track, and that will fade out. Or will it? We want to get rid of it for the purposes, because I'm going to send this off to a publisher. I'm not going to, but let's say I was. So you could just bring that down. And you can do that for any patches where you may feel there is a bit too much noise or noise buildup. Really, really fantastic feature of the library. Now, we've got collisions in the air underneath. Sounds like this. Really, really simple, root 5th, and then I've got the cinematic bass. So this is not a Sonora Cinematic library, it's just a bass that I happen to find on my hard drive somewhere. Beautiful. So you put that together and you have instant shoegaze. Lovely. Now, whenever I repeat anything, I always add a new element, or several elements in this case. So we've got the drums coming in. beautiful. However, we want to talk about the guitars. So I'm using the American Sparkle preset, and that's just playing a glissando chord. Wonderful. And I do change the main melody, which I'll play in a second. So I'm using Constant Skies at the top. Just to punctuate the melody which is happening on the gentle baritone. So at this point, it's created a great feel and a great texture. And I'm still only using an E minor chord. Now here the electric piano comes in and it just plays some choice notes, shall we say. Then obviously I'm going to go to chord 4. So it's kind of a C add 9. There's a bit of an F sharp going in there to make a sharp 11. It's very, very Lydian feeling. There we go. And I bring down the texture quite a lot. And the electric piano sort of gets a bit more prominent at this point. So you can hear it in context, obviously, with drums, bass. We've got the American Sparkle and the gentle baritone still going on. I mean, that is gorgeous. I don't normally talk over what I'm playing on the demo, but I just had to. That is stunning. So then when we have it with the electric piano as well, just so you can hear it. I love those timbres, and the electric piano has a really big reverb on it as well. And it's really, really funny. I don't know why I feel like telling this story. It's not an amazing story, but I was recording. This is before I was actually into recording music, so I was just about playing live guitar music and maybe recording albums in studios and things. And I was around my friend Terry's house. Yes, Terry. I'll mention this to him. And I remember we were on Logic, and I was absolutely blown away by having drum kits that can play. We're talking like, goodness, 2013, I think. And I was blown away by all this, but I never actually was into it, because I learnt music tech 2003 when I was at university, and it's all quite basic then. So I was absolutely blown away, and I remember playing him some Porcupine Tree and just saying, what is that sound? And he just said, it's an electric piano. And ever since then I've been obsessed with using electric pianos. So there we go, combining it with these amazing guitars, it's just the perfect blend. I love it. So everything comes in the next section, so it's a bit more chordal movement, but listen to these guitars. So I'm using one of my favourite guitars in this library, and there are so many, believe me. Hold and reverse. I mean, that is just stunning, and I'm doubling it with the Constant Skies. So the layers build up, and of course I've panned everything accordingly. I've kept the gentle baritone in the middle because that's the main guitar as far as I'm concerned for this one. Collisions in the air sounds a bit more like sort of low end bass, and then obviously the bass really holds it together. But just everything coming in here just sounds glorious. And there we go. Obviously it ends just peeling away those layers, and the good old automated, sorry, I can't speak today, automated fade out on the master output on the stereo out. And there we go. That is the piece, and I loved putting it together. Really, really straightforward, really, really simple chords, but my goodness, these guitars can turn something ordinary into something exceptional, and that is the beauty of it. And when I think this is a £49 library on intro or £59 when it's off intro, what you are getting is absolutely priceless. And this brings us to our closing thoughts section about Panorama Guitars from Sonora Cinematic. Do I recommend it? Yes, I do, and there are lots of reasons why I do. First of all, it sounds amazing, and it's using hardware that is really, really difficult to get hold of, and it's been sampled beautifully. It's got baritones, it's got a different range as well. It just sounds incredible. Now, I'm a guitarist, and I have lots of guitars behind me in very big, important cases. I have lots of guitar-y hardware surrounding me in my studio. I've got my live rig set up next door, which has got lots of different effects and amp modeling. So I could just plug that into my DAW and get playing and have a lovely time. So why would I reach for Panorama Guitars? Apart from the fact it sounds wonderful, it's convenient. To get sounds like this into your DAW to sound this perfect and meld together and intertwine together, when you think you got all these delays, these reverbs, chorus, etc. going on, it just works really, really well, and it almost takes the guesswork out of creating this post-rock sound. Now, I've talked about like shoegaze. So shoegaze, that like the term is used because you are looking down at your pedal board, staring at your shoes, gazing at them, if you will, to create this gorgeous ambient sound. And for £49 you have that in an instrument, but it's a really diverse instrument. You can use this in cinematic underscore, you can use it in crime music, tension, you can use it in electronic music, ambient music, progressive rock music. Anywhere where you need awesome sounding ambient guitars, you've got it. And that's what I think is the charm of this library. So for me, it's £49. It is an absolute no-brainer. So it's on intro offer, but even when it goes up to £59, it is still 100% completely worth it. And it uses NKS, and I found myself tweaking different parameters using NKS on my 61 Mark III. The integration is absolutely seamless. So yeah, pick it up today. You will not be disappointed. All that leaves me to say is thank you once again to Sonora Cinematic for sending over a copy of Panorama Guitars so we could make this video. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like on the video, and of course drop us a comment. Have you picked up this library already? Are you a guitarist? What do you think about it? Are you a non-guitarist? And are you thinking this would be brilliant to put in my composing toolkit? I don't know. Just let us know what you think. We try to reply to all of our comments, and we've noticed an influx of getting more and more comments. So our subscriber count is growing, lots more comments. We're trying our best to reply to absolutely everything. Lots of them are really, really positive about the work we're doing on the channel and the instruments that we're showcasing and how we're doing it. A lot of people really like the compositions because it showcases the instrument in a composing context, and we're all composers, so that's where we like to hear it. But of course, and the overviews and looking at the instrument as well is really important, so you know what's contained inside. So we're getting lots of favourable comments, so we thank you so much for that. And of course, if you've not done so already, please hit the subscribe button. We don't have any kind of financial gain for making these videos. There is no advertising deals, affiliate links. If you notice, we do have links, but if you click on them, it just goes to the developer's website. It does not give us a percentage of the sales. Of course, we do have a buy me a coffee link. And again, thank you so much for those people who have been very kind and generous to buy us a couple of coffees, because it goes a really, really long way and helps towards the cost of running the channel. And of course, please check out our other videos. I can't believe it. It's been just, well, nearly 18 months and we've got 261 videos on the channel already, going amazingly well, and we couldn't do it without the support from obviously the viewership, everyone tuning in to see what instruments we're looking at, and of course the developers who are just supporting and supporting and supporting. So yeah, I sound like I'm doing some kind of award speech. I'm really not. I'm just really, really grateful for just how well everything has been going. So thank you so much. Until next time, have a great day. Keep making that amazing music. And of course, we'll see you in the next video.